welcome back to the winter equinox. Oh no, wait. Welcome, race engineers. The race is a problem. Today's problem is managing activities for the rest of the week, and we go for a training for Callum, and go to look at durability and powertrain. Powertrain first. Can't make any upgrades because of the simultaneous development, so we go and make one on the for ICU durability. But because we're ahead of Williams on both aerodynamics and Sashi, we don't need to focus on R&D points there, so we're just going to save them up until we need to spend them to get past Williams. 17th now, and just looking there, looking at the driver market, and I was just doing this to see, because I have a spreadsheet. I was doing a weekly check to see the game racely check to see all the drivers' ratings, and looking at the ratings, I probably should have done it towards market value. That would have been much easier, but then on my spreadsheet, the only thing that will actually exist at the same time is driver names. So yeah, maybe I should do that. Finally, we're going to finish leading the rear with the worst of everything. Here we are for the Bahrain GP, going for softer tyres, and let's hopefully have a good one for the first race of the season or so, whilst I'm changing the engine components. Luckily I remembered that, and let's hope it goes better than a penalty, spinning, losing in 12 seconds, and getting front wing damage on the first lap. Anyway, here we are, messages from Carl and Jeff. Weekend Grand Prix report, nothing too special, just telling us the amount of tyres we've got, and Drivers' Championship and Constructors' Championship, which are the same from the previous race out in Australia. If you haven't seen that, go check it out, please. Going to Bahrain, we haven't made any upgrades, which is unfortunate. Maybe I should have done an upgrade during the end of the practice between qualifying, but you know, it doesn't really matter now, and yeah, I can't go back. So yeah, I can only go forward, and forward is the Bahrain GP, and yeah, it hopefully practice goes well, and hopefully we can get quite a bit of resource points, as there's our team rival of George Russell's Williams coming across the line for our track acclimatization. Seems to go quite well. Turn 10 was the only place that I was having problems, and to right, it was a it's downhill, acute left corner. So yeah, qualifying race program, I only used that to figure out how much fuel I'd use. Turns out in the race it doesn't help, so yeah, it's a bit stupid. And during the race strategy program, also used this to work out how much fuel I should have. Yeah, from now on I'm going to stick with the amount of fuel that they recommend to give me, because yeah, for some reason different. Who would have thought? Anyway, completing the practice program, and yeah, going across the line to finish the ERS program, and got purple, so not too bad of a session, if I do say so myself. So yeah, quite close to that illustrious 30 level acclaim. Qualifying and the race should do it for me. Callum Ilott, he goes full beans in practice, and the other teams around him don't, so it's good to see him around Pierre Gasly and Alex Albon, because that's where I'm going to be, basically. Checking my time on the mediums, it was a quickest of a 31.0 on the mediums. Ilott did a 30.9. So, yeah, not too bad. I think I've read it when I was actually doing it as 31.0 from me. I don't even remember what it was now. Luckily, we're going to go to level 2 acclaim for the team, so we will be able to get a sponsor for the next episode, and yeah, let's see if we can get a big influx of cash to help us push above where we want to be. Qualifying, it seems straightforward according to Jeff, so yeah. First of all, turn 10, acute left-hander. Want a trail break? Yeah, not my strong point. So here we are for Bahrain, getting on the curb a little bit on the lap at the end, and first lap puts a P6, but it's ahead of Racengineer and Nussel and behind Gasly, but we get the motor to be 16 in the end. Going across the line to set our one and only lap, and I just made it by 5/10 of a second there. I looked back, bunch of us at a 26.0, but coming into turn 1 nice and early, getting up on the delta and going through turn 2 and 3 now, open DRS on the exit and go up all the way into 8th gear, and towards turn 4 now, braking about 100 meter board, go into turn 4, clip the apex nice, and head towards turn 5, 6, 7 and 8, going through 7 now, going into 6th gear, don't go much higher than that, and go into 2nd for turn 8, catching up to George Russell, so hopefully he will let us pass. And towards turn 9 and 10 now, braking through turn 9 and going through turn 10, we lock up a little bit, so we missed the apex by a bit, but it was 6/10 up on our previous best. Giovinazzi ahead of him, we want to see what his lap time was, and it was a 28.2, so that should be good enough for just a slight improvement for us. Going through turn 12 now, George Russell pulls to the inside for turn 13, and it allows us to let us pass, so that's nice from Russell. Heading towards turn 14 and 15 now, and going in the 8th gear, you don't really need to, but I did. Braking just after the 100 meter board, going into the corner, opens up on the exit. We get a little bit of oversteer. I don't think that's going to help us, and our delta is going down a little bit, but it's still 6/10. What's that going to put us? It is going to put us into P14. That is amazing, considering Bahrain is a powerful circuit for the AI and a weak one for the player. So yeah, I was expecting myself a P19, but that can still happen in the race. So yeah, I think this could be a good Grand Prix. Not for Callum though, down on P22. Maybe I should think about replacing him already. I mean, that's kind of what I was doing at the start of the episode. Don't tell him that. I want to keep him on for the whole of his first season, but it's a little bit hard when you've got tempting people like Danny Ricciardo. So yeah, I'm gonna keep him on though. So yeah, just gonna have to upgrade him. Train him the most we can. He's not a car part. I don't know why I said upgrade him. Oh god, that's gonna be really bad. Anyway, let's go to the race and see how we do.
The stage is set for another enthralling race here in the Kingdom of Bahrain. A Ferrari stronghold in years gone by, but will they be able to add to their record today? Formula One returns to the desert today on this exceptional 3.36 mile circuit. 15 corners provide plenty of overtaking opportunities. It could be a strategic race, this one, with Sakir notorious for eating up the rear tyres. Watch out for drivers managing their rubber at some point during the Grand Prix. Now, Anthony Davidson, I wonder, might we be in for some early pit stops today from the midfield teams, all trying to put some pressure on or disrupting things for the leaders up front?
If you're in the middle of the pack, you know, you've got your own race to run, I don't think they're going to be thinking about causing trouble up front. However, closer to the head of the pack, don't be surprised to see some split strategies. If you're running second and third, for example, bringing one car in for an undercut while leaving the other one out there longer can put a lot of pressure on the leader and maybe force them into an error.
It's time to see how our drivers are stacking up after yesterday's exciting qualifying session. Good job yesterday from Valtteri Bottas. The Finn starts from pole position, and it's Lewis Hamilton alongside. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Verstappen, Sainz, Sebastian Vettel, and Perez, Ocon, Stroll, Norris, and Charles Leclerc, Gasly, Ricciardo, the engineer, and Albon, Kvyat, Grosjean, Antonio Giovinazzi, and Kevin Magnussen, Raikkonen, Russell, Latifi, and Callum Ilott. It's almost time for the lights to go out, so let's head down to the track and get this Grand Prix underway.
Two bits of news for us there. Lucky, good news. Alex got a penalty, so we're up into P13 now for the grid. Unfortunately, Callum didn't get a penalty, which I was hoping was the reason for the slow pace. So, like, he was on one engine component. But then again, it is only the second round of the season. And maybe he needs to get used to the car. So, you never know. But, using the practice that I had done myself, yeah, it told me that I needed to put 12.9 laps of fuel in. What the race strategy program told me was 13.9 laps of fuel. Well, we'll see what's better. Personalised strategy tells us to be at lap 7, so yeah, we'll try and stick to that as best as we can. Going to be extra careful in turn 1 this time, making sure that we don't lose our front wing. But for turn 1, we've got to get the formation lap under and ready, and got to make sure that our tyre temps are a correct temperature, along with our brakes, obviously. And if you saw there, I was in overtake and I was in lean fuel, because that's the best way to get a good start on this game. So tip for you there. Hopefully it works out for you. Getting ready for the actual race now. Number 13 in front of our grid stop. Got Alex Albon, qualified P4 for him. Well done for him, although got a penalty, so it doesn't quite work. And last time I was in a blue car like this, Alex retired on the first lap before the race had even started, but it doesn't happen this time. Getting ready for 5 lights, and it's going to be lights out, and away we go. Getting a good start compared to Ricciardo, but then bobbing down a little bit, but maybe we got a better start than Norris, as he seems to bob down a little bit, quite a lot. Going to go round the outside of turn 1, and going to follow Gasly, maybe even go round the outside of him. No, we don't have enough momentum for that. Made a little bit of contact with Lando Norris, but we get held up behind Gasly, who makes us get us up to P11, Jesus. Going around the outside of Gasly, maybe we can make move stick going into turn 4. No, it don't quite work. And yeah, heading on to the end of that lap, we stayed in P11 and ahead of Daniel Ricciardo. So yeah, 2 positions in that first lap. Not too bad. Valtteri Bottas and 29.1 in his Mercedes. Going on to lap 3, Daniel Ricciardo looks quite close to us, so I'm not going to really defend it, as he is in a much better car. But maybe he'll defend from Norris, as it's kind of where we are meant to be. Seems Alex Albon and Danny Kvyat lost out in that first lap, as Grosjean's up into P14 instead of Alex. So yeah, he started like 17th, I think. But got DRS on Daniel Ricciardo, so we can keep in touch with him. I don't have his phone number. Low on fuel. Yeah, I realised that, Jeff. I weren't saving as much fuel as I was hoping, so yeah, in the whole of this race, I need to be in lean. Yeah, it didn't quite work for me. Oh, Perez and Gasly are going side by side. Oh, that's going to be interesting. It is interesting because we're staying on board. We're going to get DRS. We're quite close to Daniel Ricciardo, so maybe we can make a dive into turn 4. Oh, he gets hold up a little bit. We're going to go right round his outside, maybe. Oh, no, that don't quite work. Maybe. Heading towards turn 5, we're going to stay in touch with him. We're going to go round the outside of turn 6. Don't tell me. Don't. Oh, my God. Oh, little bit of contact. But we get the move down into turn 8. And look at the steering wheel happiness. Slowly moving left and right. Happy, angry, fast left and right. DRS on Perez. We're closing in a little bit on the straight, but not enough to make a dive bomb, so we're not going to. So we're going to hang in P11 for a little bit. 2 blue cars move up a place, and yeah, it is 100 AI. A little bit odd though. But Daniel Ricciardo is going to come back at us, and we are going to defend this one a little bit, as pit stops are coming soon. As I can tell you, some of the people will be pitting this lap, and yeah, Daniel Ricciardo is one of them. How do I know? Because of race, I've already done the race. Got held up in turn 2 a little bit of dive by Daniel Ricciardo. Some people have already pitted now, so yeah. No issues with tyre wear according to Jeff, as Daniel Ricciardo and Sergio Perez come into pit, and there's a stranded car of Esteban Ocon on the exit of turn 13. So yeah, unlucky for the Renault team. Let's see if we can keep in touch with Pierre Gasly. Running is DRS, so could have gained some time on potentially Ricciardo and Perez if we'd stayed in his DRS, but it didn't quite work. And I was making sure safety car was on because Ocon's car is in a dangerous situation, but it seems to have disappeared now, so no problems. Stroll also pits, as Ilott's gone past us, just saw there. And nice stop from the boys, 2.1. Could be quicker, but it's not the atrocious 2.5 that I've seen from the boys in previous careers. Perez goes past us, and so does Daniel Ricciardo, so yeah, we've got jumped by him, so that's a little bit annoying. And Jeff wanted us to save fuel again, 5 laps away, but we've got 6 laps of racing. Teammates in the pits now, so yeah, not too bad. And see where that will put us, and I can tell you it will put us into P11. Courtesy of Esteban Ocon's retirement, otherwise we would have been P12. Lando Norris going to make a dive bomb into turn 1. Maybe we can think about switchback, so we're going to let him go. But I kind of forgot about my engine being a little bit worse than his. So yeah, we don't have the acceleration. So I sort of thought that a little bit more, but we're into P12 where we were normally. Oh no. Oh, could be at. Oh well. P13 back into our grid slot. Not too bad, but could be worse. Ooh, okay, that could have definitely been worse. Oh god. Okay, thank the heavens for that. Oh, we got a little bit of damage. Checking tyre wear, tyre temps. Go back and look at them if you want. They were quite cold, so yeah, that's a little bit disappointing. Alex Albon trying to make a move into the final corner. You don't want to do that. You can just wait for this straight here. So yeah, 4 laps of fuel remaining. There's maybe Alex is going to make a move on us into turn 11 now, and that's what you get for having cold tyres. Now I know why I spun, and now I know why I spun in Australia. I had cold tyres. I was watching it back. I had cold tyres. They're only now 100 degrees. Usually once you've spun, they're like 120 degrees. So the fact that they're only 100 degrees now, it means they're too cold. So yeah. If you hear people say turning tyre pressure down, just be careful. Don't do it all the way down. Do it just a little bit down, otherwise you're going to have too cold tyres. I don't mean 2 as in the number 2, I mean too much cold tyres. Anyway, after that spin, we couldn't catch up to Magnussen or Grosjean again, so we're trying to catch up to them. I've just spoiled it, damn it. Oh well. Well, it's kind of easy because, for one, listen to Jeff. With falling behind by 1/10, so that's not good. Going on to the final lap now. See what Jeff has to tell us now. Yeah, blah 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 blah. I want to know what he said last lap. 31.3. 4/10. Okay, yeah. We're not going to catch him now, especially it's the final lap. Valtteri and a 28.9. Well done to him, and he wins the Grand Prix. So Mercedes looking quite cozy for the championship. We looked quite closely for P16, considering we technically should have started P14, and the car is technically P15-16, but we had the Haas ahead of us. But I expected to be slow here. Not too bad overall, actually. So yeah, we can be happy with this result.
Superb win here at Sakhir, and rightly so. What a brilliant effort from the whole team. So Anthony, what made the difference out there today?
1-2 for Mercedes, it looks like. There's Hamilton's car is on the left there.
Appeared well suited to the conditions out on track. The driver did everything that was expected of them in the moment to really execute the team's plan to perfection. A shining example of how F1 really is a team sport.
After an excellent performance at the Grand Prix, I'm sure there'll be plenty of
Yep,
celebrations
Mercedes
tonight amongst the Mercedes team, and they certainly deserve it.
Hopefully, a new sponsor that we'll get in the next episode will help us to develop our car much more, so that we can challenge Mercedes sometime. But I am focusing on beating Williams first. Although we are technically beating them already, you kind of want to make sure it's secure. So I am doing that, and luckily we finished the race instead of crashing. Flashbacks to first Bahrain of 2020. Tell me wheel if comment wheel if you remember what happened in previous Bahrain season 1 race. But yeah, usual top 4. Lance Stroll getting P5, not too bad from him. Maybe Charles Leclerc should have got P5, but P5 to make the usual top 5, and then maybe put Alex up there if he hadn't taken the penalty. But unfortunately, we didn't have the best of weekend, and we haven't. We've gone up in the championship because of the fact that we did much better than our rivals in the previous race, and you can see me there, just hovering over the tyre override. I didn't trick you this time, but I did think about it. Fortunately, we lost 10k of damage, as you would have seen that we also had a bit of damage when I checked my tyre temps. Not too good. But that is going to wrap it up for this episode. I'd like to thank you for watching. If you did like, please like. If you didn't like, please dislike. And if you really enjoyed it and you want to watch more, please subscribe. If you think your friends will really enjoy it, share it with friends. And if you want to tell me more, join the Discord in the link in the description. But until the races have a problem that the engineers can't fix, I'm the Racengineer. Goodbye.